So we are starting with the fourth assignment for English language. This is for argumentative essay. Now, first of all, let us understand what is an argumentative essay, right? You have already done descriptive essay, and the important thing, the most important point in descriptive essay was that you had to use your sense organs to describe things, right? Whatever you had experienced at a particular place in a particular event, you had to describe it in detail. You had to provide what was the smell like over there, what was the taste, if you tasted anything at the place, yes, what all things you saw at a particular place. So you had to use your sense organs and you had to provide all the details with the help of that. But an argumentative essay is completely different from the approach of a descriptive essay. Over here, not much use of the sense organs is required. Instead, you have to use your brain and you have to analyze the topic critically in an analytical manner so that you can come with points that support your point of view. Because in an argumentative essay, you are given a particular topic and you have to decide whether you support that topic or whether you are against that topic. So it is similar to, you can say, debate, right? In debate also a topic is there and one team speaks for the motion and the other team speaks against the motion. So just like a debate, you can say your approach for an argumentative essay should be similar. It is just that here no other team is present. So but from your side, you have to take a side whether for the topic or whether you are against the topic, and you will have to write accordingly. Okay. Now your word limit will be from 250 words to 300 words. So it basically means that your essay should not be less than 250 words and it should also not be more than 300 words. Try to keep your words between this limit only. Okay, from 250 to 300 words. Now, first of all, let me give you all the guidelines, then we can discuss this topic. So I have provided a sample question so that we can discuss a bit in order to give you an idea that how can you form your arguments and how can you approach an essay, right? For example, over here the question is, it should be made compulsory for all the students to study in government schools. So now this is a statement, right? That education in government schools should be there and there should be no private schools. All the students should study in government schools only. So now this is the point. Now it is up to you whether you support this topic or whether you are against this. If you are supporting this topic that yes, all the students should necessarily compulsorily study in government schools only, then all the points that you are going to write, all the points that you are going to mention should support this topic. Okay. And if you are against it, if you say no, it should not be made compulsory that all the students should be forced to study in government schools, they should be allowed to study elsewhere where they want, then you will be against the topic. So all the arguments now that you are going to form, all of them should be against the topic. Because when we give you an argumentative essay, what happens that you all are very confused. What you do is you give 1 point for the topic and then you give 1 point against the topic. Then again, you give 1 point for the topic. So you are confused. You are saying both things are correct, both things have shortcomings, but this should not be done in an argumentative essay. You should take one stand only. If you are saying that this is wrong, then it is wrong, and you will only provide the points that prove that a particular thing is wrong. And if you are saying that the topic that is given to you, it is correct, then you are only going to give those points that prove it, that the following thing is absolutely correct, absolutely right. Okay. So your stance should be very clear. It should not be ambiguous, and you should not talk from both sides, right? Are you understanding? For example, now in this case, for you write 2 points which say that what are the benefits of studying in the government school. Then you write 2 points highlighting the benefits of studying in a private school. So what it would mean, that it would mean that you are not taking a stand. You are standing in two boats, right, at the same time. Your one foot is in one boat and the other foot is in another boat. So this is not the correct way to approach it. Whatever you have decided from the beginning, you should stick to that. Okay, if you are for something, you are for something. If you are against something, you are against something. So everything that is you are going to write, it should be on the same line only. Now we come to the guidelines for writing it. So first of all, you have to weigh both sides of the topic. By both sides, it means for the topic or against the topic. You should analyze that what I can write for the topic and what can I write against the topic before deciding whether you want to write for or against. So before deciding that you are going to write for the topic or against the topic, you should see what arguments I can make for the topic and what arguments can I make for against the topic. What can I write so that I can prove my point? Okay. From the very beginning, your stance should be clear. It means that when you start from the first paragraph only, the reader should get a clear indication that what is your stance, right? So, for example, in this topic, when the reader starts reading in the first paragraph only, he or she should come to know that you are speaking for the government schools or you are speaking against the compulsory education that students should be forced to study in government school. So if you are against it, it should come in the first paragraph only, and your stance should be clear from the first paragraph. Okay, now let's see some other points. Use logic and reason to show that your stand is more reasonable than the opposite. So naturally, when a topic has been given to you, right, and now you are saying that I am for the topic or I am against the topic, so you should provide reason for it. Why you are saying that whatever you are saying, that is more reasonable than the opposite thing, right? So you have to use your logic and your reasoning skills to formulate points, formulate arguments, which show that the topic that you are taking up and the point for which you are standing, the point which you are supporting is more reasonable than the other point of view. Your point of view is correct. So you will have to prove it with the help of arguments, and you are going to use logic and reason to come to those arguments. Then use 3 or 4 strong arguments to support your point of view. So basically, it is being said that in order to prove your point in the essay, you will have to mention at least 3 or 4 strong arguments. Okay, so if you are for private schools, that no, students should be allowed to study in private schools also, then you will have to formulate 3 or 4 strong points which prove that private schools are better, or why private schools are also important, and why students should be allowed to study in private schools. So you will have to at least give 3 to 4 arguments in order to prove your point. And if you say that yes, it should be made compulsory to study in government schools, then you will have to again give 3 or 4 strong arguments why you are of the opinion that it should be made compulsory, that everybody should study in government school. In that case, you will have to give the benefits, you will have to provide reasons what is the benefit of studying in government school and why everybody should study in government school, right? So at least 3 to 4 arguments you will have to formulate, and they should be on the same point of view only. which means if all the arguments should be for the topic or all the arguments should be against the topic. There should be no mixed match, right? That you are writing everything, creating a horrible mixture. Okay. Then avoid using vague sentiments. Vague sentiments over here means don't give such points which do not clearly convey the topic you are addressing. Okay. Something that is not directly related to your topic. So for example, the topic that I have given you in this sample question. So if you want to start writing on this topic, if you start writing about what is a school, what is the purpose of a school, so all these things will be vague over here. They are not required. Here you have to just mention that why government schools are better and why it should be made compulsory to study in government school, or whether private schools are better. If you start writing about coaching in this essay, so it will be considered something that is totally vague, that is totally not related to the topic on which you are writing. So don't start writing about things that are not related, because often you all have this habit of writing strange things which do not have any connection with the topic. All right. Then use a strong reasoning and logic, sound evidence by using examples and stating facts. So in order to prove your point, you can give a lot of examples also, right? So if you are saying that, okay, government schools are better for this and this reason, then you can also give examples from real life that I am saying this because of such and such thing. For example, if you say that government schools are very good, then you can give examples that a lot of great personalities have come out studying from government schools only. For example, our former president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, was a student of a government school. So this can be a very good example where you are giving an example from life, from facts, right? Which are facts. So these examples will strengthen your argument. Okay. Or you can give examples from the other side also, that you can say that students from other side, private schools are very good. If you make them to compete with a general student from a government school, the students of private schools will perform in a far superior manner, right? You can say that the results that are obtained by private schools, like the who study in CBSE board, ICSE board, are much better than the students who study in UP board. So you can give a lot of examples, okay, in order to prove your point. Then the last point will be end with a strong conclusion. So when you are ending your essay, in the last paragraph, what you are going to do is you are going to summarize all the points that you have written, and you are going to conclude your topic, that whatever you have spoken, or you can say whatever you have written in the essay, now you are concluding that these are the reasons why I support this and why this is true. So you will have to prove your conviction, your reasoning, that these are the basic reasons why I think this is true, and you are going to conclude your essay in the last paragraph. Then scan all, this is the general instruction, that you will have to scan all the pages of the assignment once it is complete, and you are going to upload the file on the portal with the file size being less than 2 MB. Okay. So this you already know, so I don't have to tell you that in so much detail. Now we come to the format of argumentative essay. So see, the format is very simple. It is absolutely the same, the way in which you wrote your descriptive essay. The essay over here also consists of 5 paragraphs. Every paragraph will start from the left-hand margin. Once you will complete a paragraph, you are going to leave one line. You can see at the end of every paragraph, it is written, leave one line after every paragraph. So the format is making it very clear that after every paragraph, you are going to leave one line and you are going to write from the left-hand margin. So you are going to complete this essay in 5 paragraphs. So basically, there is no hard and fast rule that you can write 5 paragraphs only. You can even write 6 or 7 paragraphs if you have sufficient points, right? Because the minimum points that you can write are 3. You will have to give at least 3 arguments or 4 arguments. Less than that will not be accepted. So if you have more arguments to prove your point, then you can write about them and you can increase your number of paragraphs also. You can even write 6 or 7 paragraphs if you have the points to write. Okay, so there is no rule that you have to write only 5 paragraphs, and there is no strict limit on the number of arguments that you can produce. Okay, so if you have 5 or 6 arguments, good arguments to prove your point, then you can give 5 or 6 arguments also. Then your essay should not exceed 300 words. So this thing is very important. Even if you are having more arguments, you have 5 or 6 arguments, you can write 6, 7 paragraphs also. But then also, please be very concise. Don't write unnecessary, irrelevant things, and do not waste your word limit in those things, right? You should be very concise and very clear on the things that you are writing, so that you don't exceed the word limit of 300 words. Okay, then it should have at least 5 paragraphs. So I have told you that the lower limit is 5. After that, you can increase the limit. Okay, increase the number of paragraphs. You can write 6 paragraphs, you can write 7 paragraphs. It is as per you wish. Always begin the paragraph from the margin without leaving any space. You must leave a line after every paragraph. Then comes the use of idioms, proverbs, quotes by famous personalities, figures of speech, in order to make your essay impactful and secure good marks. Okay, so if you know a lot of idioms and proverbs, and you think that a particular idiom, a particular proverb, or a simile, you have recently studied similes also. So if they can fit into your essay, then only use them. This is very important, because it should not be the case that sir advised to write idioms and proverbs in the essay, so I am going to write it. Irrespective whether it is suiting my topic, my essay or not, I am going to write 10 idioms in this. So don't do this. Okay, if it is relevant, if it is appropriate to the point that you are writing to the topic, then only write those idioms and proverbs. Otherwise, you do not need to do this, right? But if you will do it, and if it is the correct usage of idioms, proverbs, and similes, then your essay will appear more impactful and you will be scoring good marks. Then start with the topic from the first sentence itself. Don't beat about the bush. I have already stressed on this point, right? That from the first paragraph, from the first sentence itself, it should be very clear what you are thinking. Okay, your stance should be very clear that what do you think, if you are speaking, writing for the topic or against the topic. It should be clear from the very beginning. Don't waste your word limit writing vague things and creating a confusion. All right. So this was all about the discussion of the argumentative essay. Now, if you have any doubts, you can ask.